Asante Mheshimiwa Rais. Anayefuata ni Mheshimiwa Hassan Shile. Huyu ni mwenyekiti wa mtandao wa watetezi wa haki za binadamu Afrika, naye aweze kutoa salamu fupi.
Thank you. Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Khamis Ramadan Abdallah, Acting Chief Justice of Zanzibar, Federal Minister for Constitutional Affairs, Madam President of African Court on Human and People's Rights, Madam Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, my brother Honorable Matthew HUYU, Chairperson of the Commission for Human Rights and Good Governance, my brother Onesmo, Coordinator of the Tanzanian Human Rights Defenders Coalition, distinguished dignitaries representing here, my comrade in struggle, and I want to make him stand for recognition, the first coalition head in this continent, Mr. Kamau Naguji of Kenya, 5 years ahead of Mr. You are welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols respectfully observed. Today I'm very emotional, so I don't want to speak from my notes. This exercise now we are witnessing was started by people who have been rejected by their countries, who were destitute. We call them human rights in exile. They questioned in Kananaskis during the G12 meeting in Alberta, because I don't want to narrate the entire history, why African, Latin American, Asian human rights activists, the conscious bearers of their people, have to find themselves in a refuge, in a place where culturally, emotionally, and socially are not even fitting. Why they have to find that? Despite the acknowledgement of the value of the work of human rights defenders by all international community in 1998 at the General Assembly, when the world recognized the value of human rights defenders by adopting the resolution or declaration on human rights defenders. That question traversed us in Colombia, in Latin America, in Africa. I lead the research on the African continent. And we came to Entebbe in 2005 and founded East Africa and Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Network, with Tanzania being led by the Legal and Human Rights Center, whom Onesmo at that time was an officer, represented as a founding member of the coalition. But the event of the election in Kenya have hastened more on the need for a protection program for human rights defenders in 2007. Only we were 2 years to form the coalition, and everyone knows they have saved many lives of human rights defenders who otherwise could have been destitute somewhere else. That need now have been replicated again in a convention we had in Kampala, and we asked Tanzanian Human Rights Center to form a similar network like the Kenyans, with the assistance of course, defenders, the East Africa. A dynamic officer who was in charge of the human rights, Onesmo. I don't call everybody, in my definition of youngness, is from 15 to 85. Anybody in between, he's already there. So I won't say young or I don't criticize. But Onesmo, with energy, he started these fruitful conversations. I want all of us to ponder, if 2000, Onesmo, the tremendous pressure his coalition felt and all of us also felt that we had given him solidarity. The only way out was to sneak out on a border and become destitute somewhere in Belgium, in the United States, in Canada. He resisted. He said, no, Madam President. He said, I want to be here. I want to continue the work I was doing, even though legitimately I cannot do anything. But my presence, it protests itself that I'm not running away. That resilience has brought now this change. I want to take the first opportunity, Madam President, to thank you so much for fostering now new culture in this continent. We used to hear in Africa, big man, African big man, and then they walk there around and they dominate in the African Union. Now we have African big women in legitimate way. You are big women. In moral compass, in protection of human rights defenders, in building the democratic space, and ushering now new area of spirit in East Africa and also in Africa, saying that these are not others. You are not others. These are our people. The president said, I am human rights defender. And that's constitutionally, number one, she is the one. And we are all supporting protection of human rights defenders and civic space. Let us clap Her Excellence, Madame Hassan, in a big way. Thank you so much. Our role, Madam President, is empowering human rights defenders on the continent, greater resilience. We support objective of building coalitions in many parts of the continent. And in my two hearts, one at Pan-African level, where 54 African countries in speaking 5 different languages. Lusophone, the last hub city we are going to establish in a Cape Verde. But the rest of Africa, we have hub cities, call it Ubuntu Hub City. If all things fail, you don't need to go to America. You don't need to go to Canada, as I did. You don't need to go to Europe. We are disabusing that notion. We are saying that we are capable of making our presence and our safety in our own continent. And Tanzania, as you could see, that is one of the Ubuntu hub cities now. Your Excellency, in my conclusion, it's worth to acknowledge specifically Onesmo Olenguruma for his courage, dedication, and positive attitude in building a strong coalition. We all have witnessed that Tanzanian coalition has displayed utmost resilience over the years. I want to put 2 or 3 recommendations here, Your Excellency. I suggest, Your Excellency, that the United Republic of Tanzania considers running for membership in the UN Human Rights Council, the world's top human rights body. Your country, which has never been a member of the Council, could bring its experience of democratic practice, the rule of law, and engagement with domestic civil society to the forum, like the one is happening here. I want to acknowledge all HRDs and the human rights organizations here today, and those that did not make it to these celebrations, for their resilience and dedication work in promoting and protecting human rights of Tanzanians across the country. May these celebrations give you renewed energy and hope to continue with your incredible work you are doing every day in remote area of this vast and blessed country called Tanzania. I end this remark by acknowledging the presence of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu. I don't know whether any one of you knows the word Suluhu. Suluh means reconciler. Suluh means peacemaker. She makes peace. She reconciles a conflicting society. And you can witness now in her small time, I'm observer in this region, small time in office, how you have reconciled this meeting. Was it possible 2 years back? No. So you reconcile it. Reconcile, continue to reconcile. Being among us signifies she is a woman human rights defender, the first entrusted by the Constitution. I plea, Your Excellency, under your leadership, that the country adopts a law protecting human rights defenders so that it won't become only a tenure of one person like you, who is human rights defender, but it become a permanent injunction of the government of Tanzania to continue protect human rights defenders by giving them legitimate right to do so. It's a zero budget, the bill, because it will be handled by my brother in his own office as a desk, but it will be legitimate, say that human rights defenders, I am legitimate here because the law says that human rights defenders are legitimate. I thank you so much. I thank you, Madam President. I thank you, defenders. LUTA CONTINUA. Are we human rights defenders? Yes. Where's the energy? LUTA CONTINUA. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, makofi mengi sana kwa mwenyekiti.